Good evening, it's Brian at Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you this very nice 2014 Honda CRV. This is a 1.6 DTEC ES version of a Honda CRV, and it's got some nice extras as well, including these side steps and tinted rear glass. Just in case you're wondering who we are, Fitzpatrick's Garage is a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. So the garage is here in Kildare. There's Maxall here, there's Honda over here, there's Hyundai here. And then further up the road, it's difficult to see, but there's actually a Lidl up there as well. So as we were saying, it is a family-run business. There is garages also in Naas and Carlow and Tullamore as well. And the reason I'm saying this to you is, I suppose, it is a family-run business, so you can be sure if you're spending money in a garage like this, there is going to be an excellent after-sales service. So anyway, back to the car. This, as we were saying, is a really, really nice car. The history of this car is, we actually used to own the car back in 2014 when it was brand new. We kept the car on our fleet for about maybe 3 or 4 months as a demonstrator, and then after that the previous owner bought it and just traded it back in for pretty much the same car again. So that would suggest that he's obviously quite happy. In terms of condition and specification, we're going to have a quick look around now. So first of all, starting off at the front, ES model has front fog lights over here, LED daytime running lights, which are also parking lights in this case, headlights, dip and full light over here. The car has a 1.6 diesel engine. It does, it is 120 horsepower with 300 newton meters of torque. So just to put that into perspective, these cars used to be a 2.2. The 2.2 was 150 horsepower and it had 340 newton meters of torque. So what we're saying is now this car is, as we were saying, a 1.6 and it's got 300 newton meters of torque. I've compared that with someone else recently on another car which was a 1.6, and one thing I found was a lot of the 1.6s are coming in with about 240, 250 newton meters of torque. So this has got a lot. Very, very rarely, actually I can't really remember anyone that's come to the garage and driven one of them and wasn't happy with the power in it. They're very, very good, but the other cool thing is they achieve all day long 50 to 55 miles per gallon, which in litres per 100 kilometres is about 5 or so litres per 100 kilometres. No problem at all. Out of all the SUVs that we sell, they're one of the best considering the size of the car. After that then, it is 200 quid a year for road tax, and it's an extremely robust and reliable engine and gearbox setup. One other thing about the headlights, from the key, the headlights are automated, so basically we can control the headlights and turn them on, which at night time is quite useful, obviously if you want to light up the driveway or approaching your house. And then once you go inside, after about 30 seconds or so, the lights will turn off. The other cool thing is they also have a full closure function, so you can lock the car and it always brings up the windows, or unlock the car, hold it, and if you want you can bring it down. And similarly from the key, if I hold it, if you watch the wing mirror is now retracted as well. Condition on the front, let's have a look. So the bonnet is in really nice condition. There is 1 or 2 very, very small stone chips, just to put that into perspective. That's the size of it, and you know it is 3 years old, so it's got to have 1 or 2 stone chips. That is just normal. The car's covered about 67,000 kilometers all the way along the front, nice and tidy. And then looking down the side of the car, all original, none accident, no body repairs. This wing, door, rear door, onto the quarter panel and the bumper, all in very nice condition. And then going back up the side, the alloy wheel is in very nice condition. The side step is perfect, and this front left wheel is in really, really nice condition. Let's move around to the driver's side. Obviously, as you'd expect, all the windows are chip free and the lights are chip free as well, but you know, it is a very, very fresh car, so you'd expect that. Okay, so this wheel is in very good condition all the way down the driver's side of the car. Again, all original, non-accident. The side step down here is in good condition, as is the rear wheel. Up onto the quarter panel and the 2 doors, and then around to the rear bumper and onto the boot lid, all very nice. I assure you, if you come to look at a car like this, you'll be extremely happy with condition overall. Those steps are aesthetic, but they are functional as well. You can stand on them. I am just about, what, 12 or 13 stone, can't remember, but something like that, and they'll take my body weight, but they're actually just aesthetic even. Okay, let's have a look in the boot. The boot's massive in a CRV. So, really, really big boot. There is a spare wheel underneath. Oops, and loads of advertising paraphernalia by the looks of it. Actually, I forgot that was in there. The other cool thing is, if you want, you can drop the seats using these here, and then the seats will fall down forward, and just the safety belt is obviously catching that one, so it's quite slow when the safety belts are in the way. And then if you don't move the driver's seat forward, or the passenger seat forward, it's not going to help. Usually if the headrests are retracted, they will drop more comfortably, but in this case I didn't do that, so no, apologies. So yeah, once I let the headrest down, it falls down very, very easily, and then if I want, I can lift that up and I can pull that over, and my seat is retracted quite easily. Come on camera, focus. So, boot's really, really big, and then once you let the seats down, you have a storage capacity that is equivalent to that of a medium-size panel van. The other thing about it is as well, which people don't realise sometimes, height. So you look at some of the bigger cars, like say Santa Fe, which is a big 7-seater vehicle, or Tucson. This one has so much more space from there to there. So when you're loading stuff in, that makes a massive difference, and it's nice and low down here and accessible. So boot is one of the big things on a CRV compared to some other types of cars on the market. In terms of closing it down, we have a handle up here, depending on what height you are. The back doors are deadly because they open at a right angle. Sorry, the rear windows, just in case you're wondering, have a privacy tent. So that is going to be useful. Well, actually, it looks nice, I think. If you stand back from the car, I think it looks really, really well. You can still see through it, but it gives a nice executive look to the car. It will keep the sun out of children's eyes, and also then the other door is open, so it's letting light in. But if you have belongings and valuables, it's much more difficult to see in. Right angle opening on the doors, which means if you have child seats here, it's really easy to get around, or if people want to get around people, it's much easier. Door card's perfect. Rear electrics, child locks over here, fine. Floor is absolutely perfect. Needs a little bit of a hoover, but very nice condition. That's just from, obviously someone has sat into the car just to have a quick look around it, or maybe our technicians when they're working on it, because it was just recently serviced. Down here, kangaroo pocket over there. Seats are in excellent order. 3-point safety belts, head restraints, which I just need to pop back up because they have dropped down from letting the seats down, and then an armrest in the centre. The door card on the other side is in very nice condition too. On the passenger side of the car, passenger door card is very, very nice condition. What is wrong with me tonight? Can't talk properly. That seat is perfect. That's just velour. I know it looks like it's kind of dirt or something, but it's actually not. It's just a velour material, so depending what way you sit in it, that's how it works. But that seat is very nice. Dash is very, very nice. If you want, you can turn off the airbag here for a rearward facing child seat if you like. And then if we walk around to the driver's side of the car, condition is equally nice. The previous owner was quite easy on the car. So door card's excellent. Front and rear electrics, child locks for windows, electric folding mirrors, an econ function which basically reduces how aggressive the cruise control is, how aggressive the air conditioner is, and reduces throttle sensitivity in here, all in favour of fuel efficiency. Driver seat is perfect. Height adjuster for up and down. Back part we can adjust backwards and forwards. Electric lumbar support here to harden up the back part. And then that steering wheel is rake reach, so in, out, and also up and down. Inside in here there's an armrest, and then we got auxiliary and USB connectors if we want to play music or charge a mobile phone, etc. And that armrest also adjusts. Drinks holders in through here, 3 areas. Actually, they got rid of that in the next model. I don't know why a lot of people used to give out about it. Sorry, they used to give out that it's gone. They quite liked it. Auto stop start, which means when you're at a traffic light, the engine revolutions may stop in an effort to save fuel when you're sitting there not moving. That's if you want to turn off that function. 12-volt power outlet. 2 12-volt power outlets. I'm not really sure what people use them for these days. Maybe satellite navigation. Heating, passenger, heating, driver. Sync means you control everything, where you want the air to blow. Front and rear windscreen demisters, and also demisting the mirrors here as well, which is dead handy when you're joining a motorway during the winter. Radio and CD setup, which is connected to our USB function over here, is super easy to use. There's a lot of new ones that are out, including the Honda one. Maybe I'm traditional, but I like a big centre adjuster knob there. I just like it. It's easier to use, I find. But there you go. After that then, an eye mid off to the centre. So when we're looking out in front of us, if we go for reverse, we get a camera up through there, which is telling us what's happening behind. And also there is parking sensors on the front and the rear. So if we drive forward over here towards this wall, we know that we got a problem in front of us. And similarly then, if I go for reverse, I can reverse back up to, oops, sorry, but the camera's gone a bit stray. Let's not try and hit anything. Okay, so we know that we got a problem in behind us then as well. So that handy. After that then, headlights are automated, so they'll come on themselves if you want. And wiper controls are automated, so they will come on themselves if you want again, but you can manually override everything. 67, sorry, this is just to say that the car is not prepared to go into a start-stop mode at the moment because we're using the air conditioner. So cruise control in through here with a speed limiter. Functions in through here like things like average speed, fuel efficiency, all that kind of stuff. The car is reading 5.5 litres per 100 kilometres, which is actually quite unfair in the car because it's spent a bit of time just ticking over doing nothing while we cleaned it. So again, as I was saying to you, 5 litres 100 kilometres, absolutely no problem at all. Bluetooth, voice activated from here, and answer and hang up and all that kind of stuff. And then the iMid we saw over here, which is controlled from here. We can have pictures and audio and fuel information and clock and all that kind of stuff there. And general menu here if you want to change colours and various other kind of settings. Electrochromatic rear mirror darkens itself. As someone drives up behind you, it gets darker itself. And obviously, if you have children, you got a second mirror. So this one's for the people. Sorry, this one's for the car. This one's for the little people in the back, or adults, maybe either. Gears are 6 forward, nice and high where it's dash mounted, so it's pretty nice to use. Parking sensors on or off, and then traction control on or off. Safety, driver, passenger. Curtain all the way down there, side of this seat. Similarly then, if I get out of the car, driver side has side of the seat and curtain all the way down through there to protect your head from side impacts. Doors have steel bars for side impact protection, and then after that up front, and actually well all the wheels have traction control which keep moving around braking pressure and traction to the wheels that have the most grip. Anti-lock brakes, which means you can have full braking but yet maintain steering control. Brake distribution, which is going to move around the braking pressure at the time to wheels that have grip. Say for example if one side of the car goes onto a grass verge. Emergency brake assist, which means you get full braking pressure until your foot leaves the brake. Tons of stuff. Really, really good. So I think that is pretty much most of what we're talking about that car. I think it looks really nice because it's an ES model, but it has nice things like, we'll say, the side steps and also up here the tinted glass. Actually, just while we're at it, there is one other thing I'm going to address, which is not really as common anymore, but sometimes people in the past, when they came in to look at these cars, sometimes we used to get people coming out of larger engine cars and they'd always inquire as to whether a 1.6 is big enough in terms of power for a car like this. So if we have this kind of a car, and again the engine's cold so we're not going to really drive it too hard. Well, it's actually warming up there now. If I floor the car from second gear, so we're doing what, 30 kilometers an hour, gives an idea of torque wise. So if I floor it right now, the power in the car, there's absolutely loads. So basically, once people have actually driven the car, any reservations they've had, and really it's not something I get anymore because most cars in around this size are actually gone into these size engines. But I do remember when they came out first in 2013, there was people that used to have reservations about that kind of stuff, but not anymore. It's really, really good. It's economical, they're reliable. But like, I think it's a great package overall. It's safe, there's a lot of stuff, they hold value well, and they're a little bit different. Like, I mean, there's lots of SUVs on the road now. CRVs, they're more expensive to buy, so there's not as many of them on the road as maybe some of the other brands, and that's what's kind of nice about them. I really like this one because it has, as we were saying, the tinted rear, which way is that going? That way, sorry, I know. The tinted rear glass on it, and then the side steps, they just make a nice subtle difference compared to other ones that are on the market. And this one's a particularly nice tidy one as well. So if you have a trade-in or anything like that, we can make you a trade-in offer in the car that you have. And most people these days look at finance options, so we can give you all the finance options you need. We deal with every major lender in the country, so Our rates are extremely competitive. So if you want information on it, please do give me a call. Brian's my name. If you come to the garage, just ask for Brian. And if you want to know anything before you travel, give me a shout, 086 843 1945. I'll be happy to run through finance, provisional figures. If you have a trade in and you're wondering, you know, roughly what it's worth, no problem, just give me a ring, I'll go through that with you. So if you've managed to get to the end of the video, appreciate your time, and thank you for taking time to watch, and hopefully this particular car is of interest to you.